be showing you how to add animation into this file. So my intentions are to animate the color of the product changing, as well as adding to the cart and maybe a little indication here. I'm also going to be adding the user interaction. So first of all, I'm going to start by breaking up the elements that are going to be animated and placing them into a different layer. So I'm going to select in the upper icons layer, I'm going to select these colors, Command X to cut, and I'll place them into another layer, Command V Shift, and then I'm going to rename the layer colors. Okay. I'm also going to be removing the button, so it's also here. Command X to copy, and then a new layer. I'm going to name this button. Okay. The text is in a different layer, so I'm going to unlock the add to cart text, cut it, and I'll place it into a new layer on top of the button. Okay, so add to cart text. I'm going to go to the 95th frame and add frame, so F5 to add frames. Now let's go back to the first frame, and I'm going to start to animate the colors. So before I do so, I'm going to lock all the layers and just edit the colors layer. Now I want to indicate that the beige color is selected, so I'm just going to change the stroke color to let's go with this color, this shade, so it's the third gray shade, and then I'll make the stroke 3. Okay, so this is selected. Now I'm gonna go to the 20th, or let's say first frame, and I'm gonna add a keyframe, and I'm gonna change this one back to white, stroke 1, white, and then the purple color is going to be selected here, so I'm going to change the stroke to 3, and then it's going to be gray. So if I invert, so this is how they're being selected. I can keep it like this, or I'm going to add a keyframe here, and I'm going to add create shape tween, so then we have this smooth transition that's happening. So if I play, poof, it's selected. So this is a nice addition. Just move this here. Let's go to the image layer. So this is the image layer. Lock this button in, and then with this choosing of this color, the change of the image is going to be around here, I guess. Okay. Create a new layer, and I'm going to name this image purple. Okay, and I'm going to add a keyframe here, and let's bring in our purple headset. I'm going to align it with the lower image. Okay. Yep. Okay. So when the clicking of the color happens, this should be placed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the purple image, and click frame, and choose color effects alpha. It's going to start with 0. So here it's 0, and then moving on a few frames. So on the I think it's 28th frame, we're going to bring the alpha up. Okay, so it's like this, and then right click, create classic tween. Now if I play, this is good. So when the user clicks the color, this changes, it fades in. Let's bring it here, yeah. And we could also add some easing just to make it more interesting. Okay, Okay, this is good. We could also add some easing here. Okay, this is more smooth. Okay, so I'm happy now with this. I could add more layers and change the colors to peach and green, but you get the idea of how this works now. Select the button. So this is the button. I'm going to unlock the layers so then I can edit them. I'm going to start with this button. Go to this frame or this frame, and then this is where the animation will happen. So when the user clicks, it gets smaller. So I'm going to use the free transform tool and just bring this down a bit, and I'm going to change the fill to a more darker shade. And then it goes back to normal. So I'm going to copy this frame and I'll paste it here. Paste frames. Okay, and then selecting in between those keyframes, right click, create shape tween. Okay, now let's add some easing, classic ease out. And here, let's go with ease in. Let's see how this looks. Very good. Okay, so when the user clicks, poof, it goes down. Okay, when it goes down, I want the text to change. I want it to go up, and then we see added to cart, or just added. So I'm going to use this button as the mask. So I'm going to duplicate the layer and place it on top of add cart. So let's just name this button mask, and let's hide this so far. So add to cart, I'm going to duplicate this, Command Option, and just drag it down, and I'm going to write added. Okay, so when the user clicks, we see this transformed up. Okay, since the keyframe is added, I want it to be in the start, and the animation is going to be here. So when it's added, it's going to shift. So select frame number 43, add a keyframe, and then here we're gonna, when we let go, this goes up. Okay, right click, create classic tween. Okay, I'll just bring this down a bit, and then right click, not right click, click, and then we're going to add the effect ease out. I'm just going to make it a bit drastic, so let's go with sun. So now if I play, yep, okay, now I want this to not be out of frame, so we are going to use the mask. So right click button, copy mask, mask. Then I'm going to unhide it because I hided it. So now when it's added, this shifts up. So let me play. Okay, just adjust the speed of this, because we want it to be fast. Now if I play, okay, poof. Okay, so I'm happy with this. When it's added, so this is where it's added here, I'm going to add one more element. So I'm going to create a new layer, and here at the top, when the user adds the product, we have a little notification in the added cart button. So let's create a keyframe here, and I'm going to add a circle with no stroke. So let's just select no stroke, and then the color, which is this yellow. Okay, just go a few frames, add keyframe, and here it's going to be smaller and 0 opacity. Okay, just add a bit of motion, create shape tween, and classic ease up. Just tiny bit. Create shape tween. Okay, so I'm happy. I'm gonna select the keyframes that are empty, right click, remove frames. If I wanted to make it longer, I'm going to add more image changes, but so far so good. Now moving on to the user interaction. Create a new layer, and this is gonna be my UI click. I'm going to create a shape, and let's make the alpha approximately 50, and I'm gonna create a circle. So this indicates my user. Okay, right click on the shape, convert to symbol, click UI. Double click on the shape, gonna create frames, so a 5, and then in the 5th frame create a keyframe, and we'll make this first keyframe slightly smaller and bring down the opacity to 0. So here we have a keyframe, and then it goes back smaller again. So copy this frame and then paste it in frame number 11, and then between those keyframes right click, create shape tween, play. Oh, it's too fast. Okay, let's slow this down by widening the gap between the keyframes. Okay, just bring this away and then go back to our frame here, and I'll take the frame, the first frame, and place it where the change happens. So the click is here. Just a tiny thing, we need to slightly move it to the side. So let's just lock everything. Just slightly to the side. Yep, perfect. Okay, so this is happening here, and then we also have a click where the adding to the cart is. Okay, because it's too close, I'll just I'll add more frames. So I'm gonna go to frame 84 and 5. Okay, while hitting shift, I'll select these keyframes and I'll just move them a bit to give the user time to click. Now, by default, the buttons, they're gonna replay. So we only want it to play once. So by selecting the keyframe and selecting the button, click looping to be play graphic once. So now when it plays, it only plays once. Now we're gonna make the click happen again. So I'm gonna add a keyframe, and where's the library? I think it's click UI2, and I'll just place it where adding to cart is. So now, yeah, okay, again, we want it to play once. So I'm gonna select this button, properties, play once. Okay, this should be okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, remove the frames that we don't need. So select this frame and then go by hitting Shift, select this frame, right click, remove frames. We could add a bit more animation so when the clicking happens, I don't feel like it's indicated too much. So what I'm gonna do is add a keyframe here in the beige image layer, and also a keyframe here. And what I'm gonna do is when the user clicks, it slightly goes up and then it goes down. So this is just gonna give us a bit more interest to our animation. So go to these middle keyframes. This one and this one are gonna be the normal status. This one is when it's gonna be going up. So select those keyframes and then unlock the layers just so we can edit. Select again. And then I'll just shift them up using the arrow keys. I'm moving them up. And here, I'm going to create classic tween. And between those keyframes, I'm going to add the same speed. Okay. So this way, if I play, there's slightly this like little jump that happens. Okay, just gives us a bit more interest. Okay. Now if I wanted to go over the top and add more things, I'm gonna let the user drag the text up so then we could see also the text that's under. And that's it for today. Once you're happy with your animation, click File, Save As, and save it any place, and it's going to be saved as a flash file. And then if you want to export, you're going to click File, Export, Export Movie, and then export it as a SWF movie. Save.